Riley knifing down ahead of me at 4 o'clock. I'm going to take a crack now, Charlie George. I say again, this one is mine.
Billy! 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 I thought you were on a bad trip, man, trucking round up there. I yelled you 4 times.
Ah, well, I'm only hearing me right here, you see. I've got this rare disease that makes you go deaf.
You still haven't placed me, have you?
No. I mean, I know that I know you, but I can't place you.
Slug.
Slug? No, I don't think I ever knew anybody called Slug.
My straight name was Colin.
Colin? It's never Colin Westermacott, is it?
Right.
Colin Westermacott? I haven't seen you for ages. Are you still working at the rates office?
Do I look like I'm still working at the rates office? No, I blew that scene out like years ago. We're into macrobiotics.
Oh, hi.
Hi. This is 55.
See? You're doing all right, then?
No, we're not scoring. We just freaked out from Liverpool.
Oh, yeah?
Bad scene.
Right. This Ed ripped our bread off.
Oh, yeah?
Right.
You know, money, loot. He stole it.
Oh, I see.
Dig.
I mean, I dig. So can't you borrow some more off your dad?
Now we've split that scene, man. Like he had all these patriarchal hang-ups, you know. No dialogue.
I know what you mean. I have the same problem.
Macrobiotics, that's what it's all at. We're getting together, growing brown rice down in Cornwall. Like, we're going to start a commune.
Commune? That's all right, isn't it? I mean, groovy.
Right.
Okay, 55. This is where it's at, Dig. You got a new name, right? From now on, you're gonna be called 304, Dig. Because you're the 304th chick I've had this week.
Meanwhile, back at the laundrette, we blast off for Cornwall tomorrow morning.
Oh, can I come with you?
Yeah, why not?
Check.
But like, we've got this hang-up, you know, we need bread, like, for a pad, like, tonight.
Oh, I see. Well, I haven't got any bread. But I could give you both a pad. I mean, back at my place.
Great. What about your folks?
Big Daddy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's all right. He won't know.
Fantastic.
Fantastic! Oh, this, it's for my little nephew, Kevin. It's his 10th birthday. He's into toy aeroplanes.
Great. Do you, smoke?
All the time.
Pig.
Out. Don't I know you?
Don't think so, officer.
What have you got behind your back?
Nothing.
Aren't you the lad who was putting it about that the chief constable entered into a bigamous relationship with the Lady Mayoress this time last year?
Don't think so, officer. I was down in Cornwall this time last year, in hospital, for me ears. I'm going stone deaf.
Just watch it. And that's my advice to you. Just watch it.
It's not entirely the Concorde, Mr. Fisher. It's not entirely the Concorde at all. It's brass casket plates. It's a quantity of shroud material. It's the petty cash. It's the postage money. In fact, we must come down to the question, is your son a kleptomaniac?
Oh, I don't think so, Mr. Shadrach. He's never had a day's illness in his life.
God give me bloody strength. Klepto-bloody-maniac he's talking about, not hypo-bloody-chondriac. Where's your bloody brains? You have to excuse her, Mr. Shadrach. She's not had the benefit of our education.
It's quite understood.
He had mumps. In fact, they all had mumps. Excepting our Lillian, who was my youngest, and she had German measles. I had to put a wet flannel to her head, morning till night, night till morning.
Yes, well, Mother, we're not talking about mumps now. We're talking about our Billy. But I thought he was settling down quite nicely in his job, Mr. Shadrach.
It's wondered if he takes funeral furnishing seriously as a profession, Mrs. Fisher. He was discovered in the Chapel of Rest on a recent occasion, yodeling. Yodeling, if you please, in a Chapel of Rest.
Oh, dear me.
He wants to get his bloody hair cut, never mind bloody yodeling. You'll excuse my French, Mr. Shadrach, but I'm convinced once we get him into that barber's, he'll be a changed lad.
It's hoped so, Mr. Fisher. It is sincerely hoped so.
They used to put a pudding basin over their heads. Short back and sides. And if they had nits, well, they shaved their hair altogether.
Well, where I think the trouble with our Billy is he's very easily led.
Them college students who used to knock about with it. What was it you come home with one night, Alice? Oh, he says, I'm going to study political history at the Open University. Daft devil.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Geoffrey. Lets people put ideas into his head, but I will say this for him. Once he's in the right company, he's a different lad altogether.
Where the bloody hell is he, anyway? I mean, he should have been over his tea an hour ago.
Well, he's most likely gone to the public library. He's a very big reader, Mr. Shadrach. He was reading War and Peace last week.
Aye, War and bloody Peace. And yet, when they showed it on the telly that time, you couldn't get him to watch it. He was out every bloody night, gadding.
I think you're being unfair to him, Geoffrey. I mean, he's been no trouble at all just lately. Go on, admit it.
Well, not for the last 48 bloody hours, anyway.
There's still the discrepancy as regards Concord and the other items.
Oh, well, I'm sure he has a very reasonable explanation, Mr. Shadrach. All I'm saying is speak as you find. And what I think is he's been much more sensible lately, more down to earth. He doesn't daydream so much.
Kama Sutra, I like you traditionally bound. Suspicion ladies found you somewhat rude. Kama Sutra, I've a future used to swing upon. And when I'm forgot, I'll call your name in my shame.
It's hoped you're correct in your diagnosis, Mrs. Fisher, because we've come to the watershed, I'm very, very sorry to say. Young Master Fisher must make up his mind about the funeral furnishing profession, and the funeral furnishing profession must make up its mind about young Master Fisher. Oh, thank you.
All the very best, Mr. Shadrach.
There are many opportunities for a young man in funeral furnishing, Mr. Fisher. It's an expanding business. And the mortality rate for a town of this size is very, very encouraging.
That Mrs. Potter at the sweet shop, she isn't long for this world. She can't eat, and she can't sleep. She's like a dried up bit of parchment.
Oh, Mrs. Potter at the sweet shop? Yes, Mr. Fisher, provided he keeps his nose clean, he could rise to great heights in the profession. The rank of bookkeeper is always there for men of ambition.
Oh, he'd be very good at bookkeeping. What was it he got in arithmetic, Geoffrey? Was it A-level or O-level?
One or the other, I don't know. Yeah. What's that bloody racket?
Station ladies found you somewhat bored.
You know, it's getting worse instead of better round here. It's ever since they opened that bloody youth club. Bloody beatniks.
That Mr. Farringdale, he's another one. The one they sent to the old people's home. He's sinking fast.
Old people's home, Mr. Farringdale. Thank you very much.
You can keep down in the van.
What's for the van? I thought that was this warm little pad going for us.
Ah, well, I've been thinking about that. You see, Slug can come up to my pad, but I'm afraid you can't. Because if they found Slug up there, well, I'd only get murdered. But if they found you in there, well, I'd get chucked out.
Well, what's the odds? I thought you were splitting anyway.
Ah, well, I am, but in my own good time. I mean, I want to keep a dialogue going. Then they might give me some bread to go to Cornwall with.
I'll buy that. Night.
Pleasant dreams.
Oh, really?
And of course, when he settles down and gets married, he'll be needing a steady wage packet coming in. Do you know Barbara at all, Mr. Shadrach? Billy's fiancée, a very nice, quiet girl.
Oh, yes. One was able to cremate her grandfather recently. 5 limousines and a buffet luncheon. Yes, she should certainly be a settling influence. You'll bear in mind what we've discussed, Mr. Fisher, concerning the question of the Concorde, the casket plates, and the other etc.
Well, you see, on that question, I'm afraid I must part company with you, Mr. Shadrach, with great respect. A bloody liar he may be, born bloody idle he may be, but begging your pardon, he's not a bloody thief. What's that?
Evening, Mr. Shadrach. Hello, Mum. Hello, Dad.
All right. Where did this come from?
I found it.
You found it? Don't talk so bloody daft.
I did. Only you know Jackie Morrison? Well, he was taking guitar lessons, and his dad got so fed up of hearing it that he chucked it in the dustbin. And that's where I found it, in Morrison's dustbin.
I mean, what can you do, Mr. Shadrach? Apart from knocking his bloody head clean off his shoulders, what can you do?
I'm very much afraid that's a problem for you, Mr. Fisher. Good night, Mrs. Fisher. I shall be wanting to see you first thing Monday morning in my office.
Oh, yes, I was wanting to talk to you about that, Mr. Shadrach. I was wondering if I could take my annual holiday early this year.
Take your annual holiday? I'm afraid you're in no position to take annual holidays.
Only I was thinking of going down to Cornwall with the Sea Scouts.
You'll be going to Scarborough when the time comes with your mother and father. Good night, Mr. Shadrach.
Good night, Mrs. Fisher.
Good night, Mr. Shadrach.
Good night.
Right, now come here, we'll talk about this later, but first things first. Now then, what have you done with Mr. Shadrach's model aeroplane?
What model aeroplane?
You know what bloody aeroplane, and this coffee plate, and this shroud material, and God knows what else besides. You've got it squat in that bedroom, haven't you?
Of course I haven't. I haven't got anything squat in that bedroom.
Oh, yes, we know. That's what you said when my best cufflinks waltzed off. It was like bloody Aladdin's cave up there. Now then, are you going to fetch that stuff down here, or am I going to go up to your bedroom and get it? Do you hear me? Look, I'm talking to you, and stop combing your hair. You're getting more like a bloody Nazi boy every day. Shut up, I'm talking to you. All right, keep your trap shut. Now, you'll get it booked tomorrow morning, because I'm dragging out that bloody barber myself. Hey, another thing, listen. You can stop using my attitude.
I wouldn't mind, but it's so zero out there.
Do you hear me? Are you going to fetch that stuff down here or not?
There's nothing up there, I'm telling you.
I'm going to count up to 3. 1.
George Formby. He used to play one of these.
2.
It's a banjo. That's what it is.
3.
Hey, have we got a lot? Sorry, Gringo.
Where the hell's my bloody cigarette lighter? Hey, You've got it, haven't you?
Of course I haven't. What would I want with your cigarette lighter?
Look, I'll have the bloody floorboards up before I'm finished. And look, how many more times will you get away from that door?
No, I will not, Geoffrey. Our Billy's a big lad now. You've no right to go searching his room.
Thank you.
If anybody's going to search it, it's going to be me.
You'll be wasting your time as well. Look, there's nothing up there, I'm telling you.
Well, in that case, you'll have no objection if I just pop upstairs with your clean pyjamas, will you?
Ah, yes, well, there's no need to do that. You see, I'm into yoga, fresh air. I've stopped wearing pyjamas.
Oh, so that's it, eh? You've stopped wearing pyjamas. I bet you've stopped wearing bloody pyjamas. You know what it is, don't you? It's got a lass up there.
Billy, you haven't. Of course I haven't.
Now then, Billy, look me straight in the face. Have you got a lass in your room?
It isn't a lass. It's a lad.
Oh, my God.
It's a pal of mine. He's just come round to look at me stamp collection.
Oh, yes, I see. Well, you can stamp collection him down here.
Yes, go on, Billy.
Slug, can you come down here a minute? I don't know what you're both on about. I can't even bring a mate home now.
Of course you can, Billy. It's just that we like to meet the friends you invite round here. It's not that we don't trust you, it's just a matter of common politeness.
Good God almighty.
Hi.
We never knew trousers in those days. Only those that were on munitions. And they had to go home and put a skirt on.
Ran.
Unless you came on a bicycle. And then they let you wear knickerbockers.
Ran.
And we always had to wear stockings, lisle or silk.
Grandma, he is not a girl.
It's not a bloody boy, that's for sure. I mean, what the hell is it? Go on, you brought it in here. What is it?
Well, don't you recognise him, Dad? It's Colin. Colin Westermacott.
Hey? It bloody well is as well. Hey, Alice, come over here, quick. Now, I want you to take a close look at that thing, because that is how our Billy is going to finish up. It started in just the same way. I've had it all from his father. Wouldn't get up in the morning, reading library books at the table, playing gramophone records, smoking. Hey, here. You haven't brought any drugs into this house, have you?
Cool it, Dad.
What did you say?
Like, don't get your tattles in an hassle.
You see, it can't even talk bloody English. I mean, what's that supposed to mean?
I think it means don't get your knickers in a twist.
Alice, get on that phone to Mr. Westermacott and tell him to come over here this minute.
It's no use ringing his dad. They've split. I mean, he didn't have a dialogue going for him, so he just blew out, man.
Well, I'd bloody blow him out if I were his dad and all, eh? I'd blow him out across his bloody backside. Here, look, is this yours? Well, take it and get out and don't come in here again, right?
There's no use chucking him out, Dad. I mean, where's he going to sleep?
I'll tell you where it can sleep. There's a manhole cover out in the middle of the road there. If you lift that manhole cover up and crawl down inside, you'll find yourself in the main sewer, and that's where you belong.
Oh, I'm sure he can find a bed somewhere, Billy. Can't he go to a youth hostel or somewhere?
Yeah, but, Mum, you don't understand. He hasn't got any bread.
Oh. Oh, dear me. Well, we can't have that, can we? Here you are, Colin. With my compliments.
Ta. Adios. Ciao. Peace.
Hang on a minute, Colin. I say, don't forget your gear, will you?
I'm travelling light, man.
No, I don't mean that gear. I mean the gear you left in the garage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you can keep that. Have a ball.
Supper ready, then?
It's been ready for the past hour. You know you'll be getting ulcers eating dried-up food.
Hey, he's not getting any bloody supper till I finish with him. Now then, I believe I was asking you, before we were so rudely interrupted, what have you done with all that gear from Mr. Shadrack's?
You're not still going on about that, are you? Look, I haven't got any of Shadrack's stuff, and if you don't believe me, you can go upstairs and look.
We don't want to pry, Billy. Just show us what you always keep in that drawer that you keep locked, and we'll say no more about it.
You won't take my word for it, then?
No, we bloody won't.
As you wish.
I don't know how to say this, Billy. I've misjudged you, son. I humbly beg your pardon.
The fault lies in us, Billy. I see that now. We should have trusted you.
Let us say no more about it. If this unpleasant episode has brought us closer together, it shall not have been in vain.
After you.
Hi. Oh, my God, Father.
Hey, look, never mind her. Look at this. Drugs. It'll get us 10 years apiece.
Mother, I don't think you've met. This is 55.
Wow.
I suppose you think I owe you some word of explanation.
I do that, Billy. I do that.
Is he going to be all day or what? I mean, honestly, we go to bloody church once in a blue moon and he can't even be ready on time.
Well, he doesn't like going to church, Jeffrey. He cracks on he's a Buddhist these days.
I don't care whether he's a Buddhist, an Hindu or a Chinese Seventh-day Teetotal Baptist. All I require him to do is to kneel in that pew and keep his eyes closed. I've got some bloody good customers in that church, and it's just like Mr. Shadrach says. If you want to stay in business, you've got to make a good impression. Ooh. Billy, are you coming or not?
Sure, be a minute.
They never have a Witsy Sunday these days. When I were a lass, they used to go to Witsy Sunday once a year, and you always went to church in your new clothes, and if you didn't have new clothes...
Well, we can afford all the new clothes we want nowadays, Mother. You know, I think our Billy will look very nice in that best suit I got him. Well, he ought to. It cost enough.
You're throwing money down the drain, Alice. Why'd you go and get him a new suit? He can't even hang his bloody trousers up.
Oh, he can look very smart when he frames himself. I mean, when you compare him to those two beatniks, or whatever they call themselves, that he brought home here the other night.
Now, don't you mention them. Don't you even mention them.
Well, I think they did him some good in one way, you know. It brought it out into the open. I think he's got all that beatnik rubbish out of his system now. Come on, Billy!
All right, I'm ready.
Just so long as he doesn't let me down in that church, that's my big worry. And just so long as he's cleaned his shoes for once, put on a clean shirt, and done himself a...
Please. Well, what's up with you? You said I had to put my best clothes on.
I give up! I bloody give up!